welcome to this first look video for Mudrunner, a Spintires game with me, MrSealyp. Right, Mudrunner, a Spintires game. This is going to be from a PlayStation 4 perspective. It's the game they said would never come out on console. I've watched quite a few different PC gamers play this over probably the past year, I guess, online, and I know it was one of those games people were always asking, is this on console, is this on console? And PC gamers would always come back and say it's not on console, and in all likelihood it's never going to be. It's here, they've done it, it's on console. I've had a bit of a fiddle around, a bit of a look on this already, just to make sure I'm kind of aware of what's happening. I'm still going to make mistakes, and there's still going to be things I've missed or haven't actually seen yet in game. But as a quick kind of first look, this is what the game's about. This is what it looks like on PS4. I'm going to get straight into it. Initial screen that comes up, we have got single player, challenges, tutorial, multiplayer, controls and settings. A lot of these are, it's obvious stuff, quite self-explanatory, but I will just have a quick, we'll have a quick look and see what's going on. So under settings you can adjust the brightness, contrast, camera sensitivity, sound level, enable music, control the vibration, left-handed controls, and you can invert the camera Y-axis. That's pretty much it. I was hoping there was going to be a steering sensitivity. You've got camera sensitivity, but steering sensitivity, and I'll explain why when I get to that in a moment. So let's go back to the main menu. Controls, there's a lot going on. There really is a lot going on, and trying to get your head around those controls when you start playing the game can be a little bit daunting, but if you follow the tutorials and various different things, that's designed to help you. If, like most, I won't say men, most people that get instruction manuals and go, don't need that, I'll be fine, you may find it slightly trickier. But if you've played this on PC before, it might all seem very intuitive and very, very easy to do. I'm not going to go through what all of these controllers are and what buttons they are and that kind of thing. It's there, it's in front of you. When you start the game up, you'll see for yourself. Multiplayer. As you can see, it's searching and it has found some. You can create a public lobby. You can create a friends only lobby. You can continue last game if you had one that you were playing, or if I go with the left directional buttons, I can go into here and scroll down and find one that I could maybe access. You can refresh the game list every now and again to make sure, but you can go in and choose and join in with other people's games. It's as easy as that, although I will say this now, you do need PlayStation Plus to play multiplayer games online. So I know I've had people before saying, do you need it, can you get away with not doing it? You do need PlayStation Plus if you're going to play online. Tutorial. Realistically, or sensibly probably, this first video would be going through the tutorial. I'm not going to, because the tutorial is something that everyone needs to have a go at, and you sitting watching me play through a tutorial, it's not that it's going to be boring, it's the start of the game. It's kind of, I would urge anybody to have a go. Do it, get a little bit more used to the controls, absolutely needs to be done. Challenges. I've done a couple, or 3 already. It does also suggest when you go to play the main game, single player, have you tried the challenges, have you had a go at them? This will introduce you to various different aspects of the game, different types of machinery, different ways of doing it. Obviously you've got cranes, you've got repairing, you've got hill climbing, you've got taking logs, you've got unlocking parts of the map. There's all different ones, river crossings, full expedition. There's everything's in here to help you get better at the game. But again, you don't have to, you can jump straight into game. I'm not, you're going to be sitting there thinking, what is he actually going to do? What I'm going to do is just very quickly talk about the gameplay. I'm going to talk about what it looks like, what it feels like, what it handles like, and what I'm intending to do is probably once a week, maybe more, is to actually do kind of like a let's play on it. I'm intending to do some multiplayer on this as well. There are a couple of people that I'm intending to do some multiplayer with on this. Don't all start asking me, you know, people, I will get pinged messages, can you play with me, can you play? I've only got so many hours in the day, so we'll see about that. But then single player is where I'm going to just jump in at the moment and literally just jump straight in. I've already had a fiddle around with some of these and I would urge you to do that. There's no point necessarily just sitting watching somebody else do it. Just get in there, have a go, do the tutorial, do the challenges, work your way through and have a go. So, single player, I've already got continue the bog. There we go. So, I'm going to continue on the bog. It's what's known as a sandbox environment, which means it's kind of closed in as you would have on a sandbox. The graphics are very, very good. I'm incredibly impressed. I haven't noticed any frame rate drop. There may be, but I haven't noticed any. The one thing I will say is the camera angles are interesting, to say the least. The way the camera moves, it's peculiar. It's something to try and kind of get your head around, and finding a comfortable sort of angle to play from doesn't always seem as obvious as it could do. Now, on the PlayStation controller, if I press the big pad on the top, this gives me my map, which I can move around on. I'm trying to think, how do I zoom in and zoom out? There we go. So as you can see, this whole sandbox environment, it has edges, but these black areas are areas that haven't been unlocked yet. So what you do is, as you move across the map, you'll come to a location, they're like little towers. When you get to that point, that will unlock the next section of the map. So you can't actually see where you're going until you get to that part. So that requires some kind of on-the-spot navigation skills to get where you're going. What I have done is started off here from the garage. I've moved across, I've unlocked a vehicle here. I've moved across, I've unlocked a vehicle a bit further up. Let's zoom in. And then I've gone to the fuel station, which I'm at now. What I was intending to do was head up the map towards the log station, so I can actually collect some logs. There are some more vehicles to unlock here, and then unlock some more of the map. It's just kind of finding my feet, getting used to it. I've done a river crossing, I've been through some boggy ground. It's, you know, the detailing is great, the maps are amazing, it's really good. I have to say, having watched it on PC, other people play it, I've been kind of looking forward to playing it. It's very, very good. Now, if I want to bring the camera angle back, on the left stick on the PlayStation controller, if I pull back on that, it takes me out a little bit. So when I then move around with my other one, you do get some better views. It's not perfect, but it is, you know, pretty good. I've just refueled on this, so I'm going to start the engine by pressing R2. And if I press circle, it takes off the parking brake. If you notice the animation inside the cab, you might have to zoom in on that. The character will move around as you do it. So, parking brake off. So did I say L1 or R2? Yeah, so. Now as I press... Sorry, I meant R2, yeah. As I press R2, pull the camera back. And the camera angles are, like I say, they're very odd. But what's also interesting is the steering is quite slow to respond, I've noticed. The graphics are great, the physics are brilliant. These kind of animations and movement are very, very good. The wheel slip, the detailing, the mud, it really does give a very realistic feel. There's a bit of vibration going on there as well, which I really, really like. Hitting tree stumps, logs, branches, there's the cracking of things as you drive over it. Now, if you look on the left hand side, it says all wheels. If I press X now, that gives me all-wheel drive. diff lock is always on this one. If you look just above all wheels, the diff lock is always on. It will use more fuel. Now, there are lots of options on that controller. If I go into advanced by pressing up or down on the D-pad, you've got the loader, you can stop the engine, you can change truck, attach winch, so there's lots of other options that you're going to need to use at different times. It's very easy to knock yourself into advanced mode without realising. If you go into advanced mode, you can't drive. I'm pressing the accelerate button now and nothing's happening. So I have to exit advanced mode. I'm going to pull the camera back again, and then I can accelerate again. Now, as far as camera angles go, I want to try and get this right. We've got rear camera, front camera I can switch to straight away. So rather than just moving it around with the right D-pad, if I press left on the D-pad, it takes it to front camera. Right on the D-pad takes it to, no, same one again, rear camera. Oh, so it just switches between. Sorry, left on the D-pad goes front camera, rear camera, front camera, rear camera. I can just switch between those two very, very quickly. I'm trying to remember what lights was. Let's go around here. Lights, I think, was L1. There you go. Lights is L1. And if I go into, or especially on this vehicle, advanced and then loader, I've now got control of the loader. The vehicle won't drive, but I've got the loader options. Loader grab, open, closed, and what's it going to say? R joystick is loader lift, and then if I do the L1, moves the grapple up and down that way as well. So I wanted it out the way for driving, so that's right up out the way, like so. That way it's not going to get caught up in anything, but it's also harder to see where I'm going. So that kind of position is probably about right. So if I now come back out of here, exit advanced mode, pull the camera back again, let's continue. Like I say, it's a little bit slow to respond on the steering, I've found, on the few different vehicles I've driven so far. But if you're delicate with it, it's actually quite easy to get used to. I've also found the physics on this work so well. When I was going through some boggy ground, if you just give it loads of power, it will slip. If you go very, very light on the throttle, it responds like a real off-road vehicle would. You get more grip, it's easier to move through. It depends if you're just one of those power crazy, accelerate or brake, nothing in between, you're going to find it a lot harder to do. But looking from the side view, so the graphics, the detailing, suspension bounce, it's just really, really very, very good. I think it's everything. If you've been waiting for this to come out on console, it's going to be everything you hoped it was going to be. There are going to be complaints, people will moan about various different things. Is modding available? As far as I'm aware, no, it's not. Which is, it's a pity, but possibly if this really takes off and they're happy with it, and plenty of people buy it on console, there's no reason why, like with games like Farming Simulator 17, they don't add the modding situation in, maybe at a later date. It's possible. So let's get back to a position where it's easier to see. Now with this one, this has got 4 gears. And if you get up into 3rd or 4th, this gets really, really wobbly as you drive. Now as you notice, I'm trying to get the camera angle into a position that's kind of good for viewing, and it can be tricky. I haven't even checked the map. I need to check the map and see what we're at, where we're at. Where are we at? Oh, we're moving. We are getting... There we go. That just proves the point. I'm so busy talking, I've gone round in a circle, come back down here when I wanted to be heading up here. Now, I can set myself a marker, I believe. I'm trying to think. Was it? There we go. Okay. Now, if I look in game now, there we go. So the marker behind me, that red line, shows me where I should have been going. So I should have set myself a waypoint kind of marker before I went. Now, you're going to be watching this and also probably saying, well, what exactly are you achieving in this episode? Nothing in particular. I haven't set myself a mission to do. It's just to look at it. The vibration, you know, this is something I really like about this. The vibration function really adds to it. I do like that. It's something that you don't always notice when it's not there, but when it is there, you think, whoa, that's incredible. That really does make a big difference to the game. It's a strange one, but it's there, and that's what we need. Let's get the lights on. That's better. It's getting dark. We need the lights on. So I could just follow that and just plough through the countryside on a line of sight, kind of as the crow flies, just happily following that along. That probably wouldn't be the best idea, but that does give me the idea of the direction I'm supposed to be going in. Now, my other option here is I can go in cab. So if I press L3, I'm now in cab. Still got some of the controllers there. The in-cab view is pretty good, I have to say. It's not bad at all. You've still got that kind of the dashboard itself is kind of taken from the outside game view. It's giving you all the information you need. It doesn't look like a proper dashboard, obviously, but it's everything that needs to be in there. Now, I can drive like this. If I press, I think it's R3 now. There you go, it says move gear stick. So I can actually, if you look at the left-hand side, I can change gear myself if I want to. I can go from 1 to reverse, I can go from 1 to 1 plus, or I can just put it into automatic. So it does give me the option to change gears if I want to. So while I'm on the go, if I want to, oh, there you go. So if it's particularly rough terrain and you want to stay in first, or you want to stay in 1 plus, that's fine. I've found that automatic works pretty okay on everything I've tackled so far, but you might decide, you know what, I'd rather have it in whatever gear I choose. That's entirely up to you. Kind of manual gear changing is an option available. No, I'm going to check the map again in a minute. Now, I have noticed, I'm just looking, in cab. Oh, is that the red line there? I was going to say the red line's disappeared, but it's not, it's over there. Let me check the map again. So, like I say, I'm no expert on this. I've just started playing it. I'm trying to get to grips with kind of what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be doing it. And this is just a quick look at what it looks like in the first place. So, let's see if I can try and get back on track here in some way. It might mean just going cross country, I think. Let's turn this more towards the route I want to go. Let's do a bit of cross country, shall we? Now, you're going to get damage if you just crash into things. And I've got this on casual mode. If you put it on hardcore, there are a lot of other different options, things that it will do and won't do. But it will encourage you to try and find a route through. So now it's picking up a bit of pace, and it does get a little bit leery on the controls when you start doing that. But that's it, just a very, very quick, let's have a look at the graphics, let's have a look at what it does, a few of the basic functions. I haven't done a mission, I'm not doing a mission, I just wanted you to have a look and see what you think. That's it from me on this first one. I'm going to try different vehicles, different missions, I'm going to do multiplayer, I'm going to do all different things. I hope you found this interesting and informative, if it's just have a look and see what it looks like on PS4. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.